To kick off the second half of the season, we had the second place Houston Outlaws square up against the third place Florida Mayhem, and this had banger written all over it. But what we got instead was some of the most hilarious Overwatch of the year. Busan started off competitive, but with some odd compositional choices from Houston. They opted away from Lucio and the Ramrush mirror and decided to run Pelican on Sojourn with Happy on Tracer. For what purpose is Happy not on the Sojourn? It just does not make sense. The biggest benefit of being able to flip-flop on Tracer and Sombra is for the player on the Sombra alternative, usually Echo or Sojourn right now, can easily swap over to the Sombra without resetting both players' ult charge. And in this case, it opened up a potential Mei Sojourn comp, which is what Florida was playing. So this arrangement just makes no sense on all accounts. So on mecha base, the Mayhem utilized their speed to gap close, their Mei to isolate, and their better Sojourn player to find picks, which resulted in the win. Downtown quickly turned into a mirror of the dive comp we are so familiar with, and Houston won pretty convincingly. They broke down Florida's initial poke comp with well-coordinated point pressure and had them in a chokehold with great ult rotation. Sanctuary was somewhat interesting, with Houston continuing their Tracer Sombra, while Florida went with a more pressure from all angles approach with both Widowmaker and Kiriko, but it inevitably came back to Sombra mirrors. The score may have been 99-99, but Houston didn't actually win a fight. They just forced point all the way up, which made it look close, but it was really Florida's map. Numbani is where things really started to get fun. To start their offense, Houston was practically losing a 3v5. Like, yeah, the Ryan and Mei hold down the high ground and it stops the Houston backline from walking up, but so does so many other characters that can actually assist on a counter dive. There's something crazy about Fearless jumping in, and then behind him you see two fire strikes coming through from across the point. It's just so funny to watch. And then Violet was being held hostage to play Mercy. He was actually fluoride staring at where the enemy might be, like, bro, you can't fight back, you can't charge your right clicks, and this magnate is enough to make anyone insane. What is that? How? You're going the wrong way. Eventually, he just snapped and went back, but the mental damage was done. He was so far gone, he just windowed inside the enemy backline and hopped off the high ground. Emote 3 times if you need help, bro. We got you. This map was a lot of Florida holding and then Houston winning a scrappy fight with ults in overtime, which to be fair was more or less the same for Florida because Numbani first point, but the difference is they didn't have to blow all of their ults to cap first and they breezed through second. Circuit Royale continued the tomfoolery. Despite Gargoyle being signed due to this map's existence, he did not make an appearance. But to the credit of Fearless, his Sigma was not bad at all. Houston rolled through first and decided that second was fraudulent. So they took a trip all the way to third point where this guy's Shu was doing acrobatic maneuvers on the Baptiste. They almost got all the way through second until someone remembered where the payload was and he started walking up. Anyway, after Charon got bored with Transcendence and a ton of other mid-offs on the coast, Florida eventually held them on C. Well, there was a reason for Gargoyle not being in the lobby. The strategy was for Fearless to hit the defensive dive on Winston, and that went about as well as you'd expect it to. I have not seen a gorilla get gunned down like that since Harambe, may God rest his soul. When he tried to do a nano engagement, he was down to 50 HP before he hit the ground. Houston got completely owned on their defense and are gonna have to reassess which tank to play on the Sigma map. It'll be a tough choice, I'm sure. This match was just hilarious to watch back. Florida were their usual quirked up selves, while Houston were a bit off their rocker. Fearless either had an off game or he didn't respect the Florida backline, but for whatever reason, he did not play very well. And I still can't figure out what's going on with the Outlaws comps. My player of the match is Merit for his flexibility and the Widow differential. But let me know your thoughts on this match in the comments and join my Discord linked in the description down below if you want to vote on which matches I should do next. Have yourself a good one. Deuces.